Welcome back, movie buffs. Ready for another deep dive? Well,
Always.
this time we're strapping on the reindeer and polishing those sleigh bells for a holiday classic.
You're talking about the Santa Claus.
You got it. We're diving deep into burnt turkeys, a cynical toy salesman, and enough Christmas chaos for a whole year.
Well, this movie has definitely become a staple of the holidays. Pretty fascinating how that happened.
For sure. I think it all starts with Scott Calvin.
Our reluctant Santa.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You know, just trying to get through a hectic Christmas Eve, burnt turkey, Denny's with Japanese businessmen who love Christmas maybe a little too much.
Yeah, you really feel that classic holiday stress.
Big time. And then bam, there's a mysterious guy in a Santa suit on the roof.
Talk about jarring.
Right. But they handled that transition so smoothly.
I think it works because of the humor in those early scenes. It
Yeah.
grounds the movie so that when it gets fantastical, you're along for the ride.
And then there's that whole Santa Claus concept. Put on the suit, you're Santa.
Whoa.
Right. Like, bam, your identity changes.
And all that responsibility lands right on you. Like, wow, did not see that coming.
No kidding. And I love Scott's initial reaction. He's so skeptical.
Totally. It's like he's resisting this huge life change, which, to be fair, most of us would probably do too.
For sure. And then there's the transformation.
Sure.
He doesn't just wake up like Santa. He puts on weight, the beard grows in, he wants all the sugar.
Oh, the cravings. Classic.
Right. It's played for laughs, but it's kind of a metaphor.
Oh, definitely. It shows how hard it is to adjust when you take on a totally different role, like your whole identity shifts.
Absolutely. And then you've got Laura and Neil who are totally freaking out. Honey, are you sure you're okay?
Right. Like, how do you explain that you're becoming Santa?
I mean, how do you even begin to convince people of that?
Yeah, it's going to be tough on Charlie, too, seeing his dad act so strangely.
Oh, definitely. And that scene with the school counselor, so awkward but hilarious.
Oh my gosh, yes. You can just feel the tension building there. Like Scott's Santa duties clashing with his real life.
And the counselor has no idea what to make of it.
Such a great example of using humor to deal with serious stuff. You're laughing, but also thinking about the challenges parents face and the importance of imagination.
Absolutely. This movie does such a great job with that.
For sure. You know what's interesting to me? That snow globe Charlie gets.
Oh, yeah. What about it?
It's more than just a Christmas decoration. It's like this powerful symbol throughout the movie.
Totally agree. It shows their connection.
Right. Like, even when everyone doubts Scott, that snow globe is there. It's a reminder of the magic they share, you know?
Yeah, and the journey they're on together. But it's not all, jingle balls and happy elves.
Yep.
The movie gets kind of dark, too.
Oh, for sure. Scott gets so isolated. Like, Laura and Neil are worried sick.
Rightfully so. I mean, who wouldn't be?
It must be so hard for them to wrap their heads around it, and every time Scott tries to explain it, just pushes them further away.
It's tough to watch. He's losing those connections,
Yeah.
the ones that matter most.
And it really adds to his struggle. He's becoming Santa, but at what cost, you know?
Yeah. It makes you think about the sacrifices involved.
But it's through those tough times that he really learns what being Santa's all about.
It's not just the presents. It's deeper than that.
Exactly. It's about thinking of others first, being selfless and kind.
And then the climax. It's like, whoa, hold on tight.
Scott gets arrested for being Santa. Come on.
The elves break him out. So funny.
And then there's that whole showdown at Laura and Neil's. You're on the edge of your seat.
The pacing is perfect. You've got the action. And then these heartwarming moments back and forth keeps you totally engaged.
John Paskin really nailed it. And it's funny, he mostly did sitcoms before this.
Like Home Improvement, right? With Tim Allen.
Yep. And you can see that influence, the humor, the family dynamics, but he also brings this real heart to the story.
Totally. And speaking of Tim Allen, he's brilliant in this. That gruff charm, but also this vulnerability.
He makes you believe Scott's transformation, like you see the struggle in his eyes.
And we can't forget the rest of the cast. Judge Reinhold is Neil. He's great.
He could have been just the annoying stepdad, but he's so warm and genuine.
And Wendy Crewson as Laura. She's amazing.
You can feel how conflicted she is. Loving Scott, but also worried about Charlie.
Their chemistry's fantastic. You really believe they're a family, even with all the drama.
That family dynamic is so important. It's about blended families and sticking together even when things are tough.
And through it all, you get this message about believing.
Not just in Santa, but in the impossible, in hope and wonder, especially around the holidays. That message hits home.
It reminds you to hold on to that little bit of magic, And it's not all fun and games being Santa, right?
Right.
The movie shows the tough parts, too.
Oh, yeah. There are sacrifices for sure.
Like, it could have been this super cheesy, everything's perfect Santa story, but they don't shy away from the hard stuff.
Right. Scott has to take on a lot of responsibility. It's not all milk and cookies.
Totally. He's missing time with Charlie, struggling with those relationships, and he's always got to be Santa,
Mhm.
like live up to that image.
A lot of pressure.
And that scene where he has to choose between Charlie's hockey game and being Santa, ugh, my heart breaks every time.
Oh, I know. Such a tough choice for a parent. You feel for him there.
Yeah, and I think a lot of parents can relate to that, having to make those impossible choices sometimes.
For sure. It's part of life, but it doesn't make it easier. And the film does a great job showing that struggle.
It does.
Yeah.
And then there's that moment when Laura burns the custody papers. Man, that gets me every time.
Powerful scene, right?
It's like she finally believes. She lets go of all her doubts and just accepts the magic.
Like, even though it seems impossible, she chooses to believe.
Exactly. And even after all these years, the special effects still hold up.
They really do. Those reindeer look amazing. And the North Pole scenes, so festive.
Right. It's like they use the effects strategically.
Mm-hmm.
Not too much, just enough to make you feel the magic.
Totally agree. They didn't let the effects overpower the story or the emotion.
And I think that's why it's such a classic. It's got that perfect mix of funny, heartwarming, and just pure Christmas magic.
It's a movie the whole family can enjoy, and it stays with you long after it's over. You know that warm, fuzzy feeling.
Yeah. It makes you want to believe in good things, even when the world's kind of crazy.
And remember to cherish the people you love, especially during the holidays.
Well said.
Mm-hmm.
I'm definitely watching this one again this year. And if you haven't seen it, you got to check it out. The Santa Claus, it'll make you laugh, cry, and maybe even believe in the impossible.
Yeah.
And don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more deep dives into your favorite movies.